Hi, friends. It's me and Rachel. We're here. We're queer. We don't want any more bears. How is it that in my anime poll, Attack on Titan loses to Death Note? Attack on Titan is definitely better than Death Note.
I don't know.
Death Note's good. There's no disputing that Death Note's good.
Yeah, Death Note is good.
But it's no Attack on Titan. Death Note is to Attack on Titan as Death Note is to AOT as I guess you would say that's a tough comparison to make. I'm trying to make a band analogy. So, in my opinion,
Sugar Ray.
What do you think is Sugar Ray? Death Note or Attack on Titan?
Yeah, Death Note.
Death Note is Sugar Ray? Okay. All right. That's an interesting link there. I wouldn't have come up with that. Let me see if I can come up with a comparison. See, there's gotta be two bands that are in similar vein.
Okay.
But one of them is not quite as good as the other one, but they're both good.
Okay.
So it's like, who's your lady I kept getting confused with for Gwyneth Paltrow? The other lady that I kept calling that name instead of Gwyneth Paltrow's name?
Yeah, but who was that?
That was I should want to say Drew Carey.
Drew Carey.
I don't know why.
I don't know. I have no clue.
Oh, Cameron Diaz?
Yeah, Cameron Diaz.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, look, Death Note is like the Gwyneth Paltrow to AOT's Cameron Diaz. They're both very similar.
Yeah, they are.
Cameron Diaz is a better version of Gwyneth Paltrow.
I agree.
When they get married, they'll be Cameron and Gwyneth Paltrow Diaz.
I saw Attack on Titan, I think in 2012, 2013. And I watched it alone. And I was like, whoa.
I mean, those big Titan guys running along are so creepy looking.
It really affected me. I was like, wow, this is like anime that I've never seen before.
And there's a lot of weird, deep, linkages in AOT. With all, everything is sort of an allusion to World War II. Death Note I found to be quite compelling until the first investigator died and was replaced for the second one. And then it's like, wait, why did that happen?
Exactly.
I'm not sure what the author was thinking with that.
I was like, why did that happen? That was my exact question. Why did that happen?
It didn't add to the drama of the thing. It made everything after that kind of like an afterthought. So that's the thing. Death Note would have scored more highly in general with me among anime if it did a better job of wrapping up its own storyline, I guess. It was great through 3/4 of it, and then it got very good for the last quarter of it, AOT, on the other hand, has been absolutely compelling from start to finish, moment A to moment Z. And I gotta say, of all the animes that go by quicker than it seems like they should. So, somebody put as a comment on an anime I saw recently There's no way that was 23 minutes and 49 seconds of content. But it was, well, AOT is over before you push play practically. It's like, oh my God, it's over already. I hate watching this thing week to week. Other things are more, this is, in my opinion, the most significant factor in whether or not a given anime can be watched week to week or whether you need to be able to binge it. And that factor is whether or not fight scenes and battles and whatnot take more than one episode. If they take more than one episode, then you really need to be able to binge it. You can't watch it week to week. It's too frustrating. Yeah. You get battle blue balls every week.
I agree with that. Battle blue balls is so...
It's like, I don't want to... I don't want my my anime... In the intercourse analogy, I don't want my anime partner to get me hot and bothered and go, "Ooh, I forgot I have a PTA meeting." Every time, it's like, if it happens occasionally, fine, whatever. But if it happens every single time, then it's like the series is really being a bit of a D tease. I don't want to use the dick word, but there, I used it. The dick word. Instead of saying the first letter of it, we just say the full word and then put the in front of it and word after it. Well, I don't want to use the pussy word. Anywho, talking about anime, we recently just started this evening one of the most teenage boy fantasy, but pretty good and entertaining anyway for me anyway. Yeah. I don't know if girls really like it. Girl is not for girls, but it's this thing called The Dungeon Only I Can Enter or something like that. And the dude has these skills and powers, but in order to get life points to convert into skill points that he can use, he has to experience pleasure. So hedonism in general causes him to gain life points. In particular, like getting sexy with girls. So, of course, he's got his girl, what I consider already his girlfriend, but I guess she technically isn't.
That they were girlfriend and boyfriend.
Well, she said that she's referring to a promise he made when they were kids that they'd be together forever, and he's like,
"Did he bring it up?"
No, she brought it up.
Oh.
Having not watched Death Note, I can confirm Attack on Titan is better. You're right. You'll need to watch Death Note to confirm that. But I've watched both, and I can confirm that any doubt that indeed Attack on Titan is better. It's not unreasonable to call Attack on Titan the flagship of all anime. It's so brilliant, so mind-blowing consistently. It's like, wow, what a piece of art. I'd call Attack on Titan the BoJack Horseman of anime.
Yeah. I'm so glad that we get to watch it together.
Now, it's a weird comparison because, of course, BoJack Horseman is such a totally different tone across the board than Attack on Titan has. But they're both, I would say, they're both equally smart, She got Dark on Netflix. It's not anime, though. Okay. I mean, I'm not averse to everything that's not anime. There looks like a couple of good shows coming out this spring on Crunchyroll. I'm sad that Black Clover's ending, but that's okay. Hopefully it'll have a nice pat conclusion where it wraps up all the storylines and everything. Mm-hmm. Presumably they're going to defeat the Spade Kingdom and restore order to the world, and everyone will live happily ever after. I'm hoping. I prefer to have endings like that,
Me too.
Rachel and I were talking the other day about the fact that I have more childish taste in stuff than she does. Like I really like pretty childish media, but I also like really good media too. So it's a weird combination of things.
Yeah, but I feel lucky. Like we can take each other's tastes. Like it doesn't matter. Like you're open to watching something that I might be like more cerebral about.
There are only a couple of shows that you watch that I'm not open to watching or don't also think are basically good. One of them being Sex in the City. And like you mentioned watching The Hills. I don't think I've ever actually.
Oh my God, you do not want to watch The Hills.
I don't think I've actually come in here when you've been watching it, but I don't think I like that at all.
No, you would tune it out.
Another thing you watch that I don't want to watch, but I've never actually watched enough to know, is To All the Boys I've Loved Before. It just sounds so girly that I'm just not.
It is very girly. I would not recommend it. And you know why? Because the lead character is an INFP, and she's like so INFP. It's an ESTP dude, so like it makes it like fun a little bit, but like she's the reason she writes the love notes because her feelings are so intense that she needs to express them in words and paper.
Right. That's important. So, Boo, I agree with you that anybody who wants to say Attack on Titan is the best anime ever, that in my mind, they should win the argument, because it's like, it may not be, there's like, I kind of have a certain sort of like fetishist appreciation for a couple of other ones, but like objectively, in my mind, you have to acknowledge that Attack on Titan is the best anime.
It is.
And like even the opening song in the credits, it's so epic, It's so epic, and everything feels so larger than life in that show. I'm very curious as to what's going to happen. Like I said, the linkages between actual history of Japan and the history of World War II and stuff, and the way that those play in with Attack on Titan make it incredibly like layered in its meanings and stuff. I love the fact that now here in this last season, the corollary to Japan has entered into the equation. And what does Japan do to Paradise Island? But immediately try to set up an exploitative commercial relationship. So it's like it's weird the way that across the board in anime, Japan presents its understanding of itself. That's a very different Japan that's being presented than in Attack on Titan than the one that's in Gate, for example, which is extraordinarily fair, sort of model UN peacekeeping force kind of deal.
Yeah.
With exclusive to Japan and representative of Japanese values. So it's like you could easily write a lot of doctoral theses or master's theses on linking anime to meow 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 meow. It would be, you could punch those out half dozen $1. Your ISTJ cousin's life is anime. I mean, I can see how one's life can become anime. It's surprisingly addicting, absorbing, whatever. I get frustrated when I don't have a show that I'm currently addicted to. Like right now, I'm pretty interested in watching the remaining 5 episodes or what that I have left before I reach the current end of it. This one, a dungeon only I can enter. I like the way it's drawn. It's fast moving. I like this model of show in which characters are in a game-like world where they level up and stuff and gain skills.
Me too.
I like So I'm a spider, so what? Or so I was reincarnated as a spider, so what? Or whatever it's called.
Yeah.
I like the other one's called So I'm a Spider, so what is the name of one of them. The other one's called So I Was Reincarnated as a Slime.
Mm-hmm.
The Vinland Saga, I have not even heard of it. Where is it at? Is it on Crunchyroll, Netflix, or what? It's only being broadcast on your mom's face? Well, I won't be able to watch it till Thursday then. Get it? Because Thursday's the days that I go to your mom's house. There, is that better? Or are you still out of focus? What is it about you always being out of focus?
I don't know. The camera loves you. What can I say?
Worked with some cool people that wouldn't stop talking about Death Note when it first came out years ago. I never watched it. It is pretty damn engaging for the first 3/4 of it. Then it gets a little, I think, I didn't like it when they killed off one of the characters and replaced him, and it seemed to ruin the show for me.
Same thing.
One of my absolute favorite shows, which I keep mentioning, is Fire Force. That one I liked so much because it was super fast paced. It was one of the most visually impressive shows I've ever seen. And it was funny. It was super funny too. I like ones that successfully pull off comedy. It's pretty tough for anime to successfully pull off comedy with me because I don't like, say, for example, Japanese comedy anime, usually. I like them to have comedy sort of interwoven into an action kind of a thing. AOT is way better than Death Note. I agree. I think it's not close. The reason I put the title is, of course, because Death Note is winning in the poll on Talking with French People. It's got a substantial lead over AOT, which is in second place.
It does. It do.
So that's kind of surprising to me. Rachel, give Eric a little smack for us over here. Give me a little smack.
You want it?
Sure. Smack right there.
That's like my grandma La Pelosa used to be like that. Like,
oh, you.
Yes.
Sean's dad, what did I do wrong? What did I need to get a little smack for? Because I think AOT is better than Death Note? Because I do think AOT is better than Death Note.
I do too. And
I prefer you pronounce it Pello. Pellow. My friend's BPD wife used to get mad at him for pronouncing it Pello. It's like, are you serious? Are you seriously gonna get mad?
Why I got mad over that?
It's not a pillow, it's a pillow. Oh, you. That's what I would have said.
I'm still out of focus. It's okay though.
I lost attention the moment they plot against each other concerning themselves about the specific bloody way they eat ice cream while playing tennis. Which show are you talking about? Oh, you mean that's in Death Note, huh? They play tennis against each other. Yeah, I remember that. Now that you mention it, it's been a while since I've seen Death Note. They're like the two best tennis players, and then they pretend to be friends, and then it's really their enemies, and
it's the second arc.
I mean,
I stopped watching at some point.
Maddie, I'm exactly with you. on this. Death Note is not bad. In fact, it's very good. I wouldn't call it great, but it's very good.
Yeah.
I watched the whole thing of Death Note for sure. I watched every single episode all the way to the end. I completed
people who are fans of anime should check it out.
Yeah. I would definitely put it in the if somebody said, Eric, make me a list of the first 20 anime I should watch, it would make that list. But I mean, Death Note has an easier concept to elevator pitch. I agree that, you know, it has conceptual pop as a foundation for the series that makes it easier to get somebody else to watch, I guess. But because when somebody tells me to watch Attack on Titan, and I say, well, what is it? And they just say, you just got to watch it. I can't even explain it. And that's all you can say about it, right?
Yeah.
And there is a central awesome concept in AOT, but you can't tell anybody really the details of the concept without ruining the first several seasons for them, or the first couple of seasons anyway. And even if you were to try to do so, like, all right, if there are no spoilers in the description, you aren't getting the full picture. Exactly. And so it's like I can't sell it to you verbally nearly as well as I can sell Death Note to you, because I can give you the basic concept of Death Note, which is introduced right away, and not spoil anything. And you go, ooh, that sounds interesting. You know? I feel like I'm just understood. I mean, I think that Gate is another one that has the same sort of conceptual pop. The basic idea being modern military forces take on medieval forces in a world that only Japan has access to by a special gate, and declares a special region of Japan, thereby justifying their use of military intervention. So what should I do? What should I watch in order to respect you anime watching people? I mean, Hot, if I were going to recommend one series, I don't mean Steins Gate. It's funny, every time I talk about Gate, people say, do you mean Steins Gate? I mean Gate. Gate is a show. Rachel and I rewatched it with Rachel. I liked it that much. It's a show that it has a 33-year-old main character who's an otaku who is also a lieutenant in the JSDF, which is the Japan Self-Defense Forces. And they travel through a gate that appears in Tokyo. First, the gate appears in Tokyo, and medieval army pours out to try to conquer Tokyo, only to discover that they are massively outgunned by modern weapons. And then, the Japanese army goes through and with machine guns mows down 100,000 army of 100,000 medievally armed fighters with dragons and stuff they've got too. But Japan's got fighter jets with missiles and attack helicopters and stuff. So it's a fun concept, right?
Yeah, it is.
And it pops a lot. And Attack on Titan pops conceptually just as much as that, but you just can't nutshell it, Google tells me to watch Cowboy Bebop, but it's hard to find. If you want to watch a couple of my pet favorites, watch Fire Force and World Trigger. I really like World Trigger a lot too. The weird thing is, World Trigger has a 4-star rating on Crunchyroll, and generally the star ratings are pretty reliable. Things that have 5 stars are good to 4.5, and things with less than that are generally not very good. But World Trigger is underrated. It's a very, very engaging show. I just kept wanting to watch it. I was sad when I ran out of episodes. Apparently, the reason why it's a little bit less well ranked than it should be is because people think it's not a very faithful rendition of the manga or depiction, execution of the manga. But as a show, I don't care because I never read the manga and it works great as a show for me. Fire Force will be disappointing if you watch it just because you'll discover that there's not a season 3 and it's not clear if they're going to come out with a season 3. Is that what you want?
Yeah.
Like other sort of little weird gems that are worth watching. Some of them have just a few episodes. Like I liked Tower of God quite a bit, but it only had like 12 episodes. When I ask Google, like, what are the best animes of all time, or one of the most popular animes of all time, or something like that, one of those kind of questions, it includes in it the gambling anime that Delilah recommended to us that I watched some of and didn't really get into yet, but I may end up watching more of it. It's a very it's another one of those like super sexy sexualized high school things, which are common in anime. I like the fact that this most recent one we started watching, which is the Dungeon Only I Can Enter, they announce themselves, the characters do, to be adults. Now, of course, they're still drawn the same way as they always are in the shows. And they act like the same way they always do, but they've declared themselves to be adults because, of course, it's a very like body, BAUDY show. There's like, every woman is introduced into the scene. First, they show her tits, then they show her short skirt and legs, and then they pull back and show her full self and her face. Like every woman in the show is introduced into the scene like that. So it's some people might take exception with the I guess body image shit implicit to it. Like Rachel said, she would be a little bit threatened or feel sad or something if she were a small chested girl because there's such a fixation on this in the show on big boobed girls.
Mm-hmm. I would. Full disclosure.
So I do plan to at some point watch Steins Gate. I haven't watched it yet, but I've heard a lot of people mention it, and it seems like something that I should at least give a chance to. But I'm highly attached to the spider one, the one where the girl is reincarnated as a spider. There's the last couple of episodes I need to rewatch with Rachel because I watched them before she woke up. That's a very fun show. That's another one in which it ends before I even know what happened. Hey, Follow Hot. I hope you're not using a torrent service of some sort, because that's stealing. I'm of the generation that used Napster before they ruled against it and everything changed.
That is something. Let me tell you.
So
I was big for its time.
Yeah, I'm of the Napster, the OG Napster generation that was there when Napster was not yet shut down, and you could get any song you wanted, download it any time you wanted it, very, very quickly. It was sweet, and I never agreed with the ruling in the first place. So, but that really defined intellectual property going forward in the digital age. Digital Rights Management Act. Hey, you clearly modeled that drawing of a walnut after my scrotum. I'm going to copyright strike you. They should only sue you when you write a bad review. It's a good point. It's like, I don't think Crunchyroll should get mad at me for going down their alphabetized list and making comments about various videos and stuff. They probably wouldn't. They probably go, okay, well, that's good advertising for us. You're not showing any of our content, really. But in some sense, I really am showing their content, which is I'm showing the list of the videos they have on. If they really want to be super dicks about it, I'm sure they could like
more paying for it,
copyright me or whatever. On the other hand, I am paying the fee to be I pay the $10 a month. Best $10 a month I spend every month, really. It's like, wow, I get a lot of impact for my buck. It's Friday night, one of the worst nights to live stream. And why is that the case? I'll tell you why.
Everyone's out.
People are out. Even, I guess now, even with COVID around, people are still.
Where do you think people are going?
To a dance party.
Actually, my sister did go to a dance party maybe 2 weeks ago.
I'm thinking it's a dance party with a 6-foot distance rule. So no slow dancing allowed. Yeah. Everybody makes. Ooh, sorry. Did I enter your 6-foot circle? Sorry.
You just dance with your arms out.
It is so ridiculous walking around and dealing with the world and seeing the complete inconsistency and lack of logic to things. So, we go to Costco with my dad. The place is always jam-packed. You can't walk down an aisle without passing within 6 inches of somebody 15 times in the course of your trip to Costco for sure. It's like there's no 6-foot shit. It's like, okay, come on, let's not lie. Then I go to this other store and I see they've got a sign up saying, wait outside. We're allowing only 6 customers into the store at a time. I go to another store. They make me use hand sanitizer before I go into the store. Go to another store. They have no such thing. I go to another store. They take my temperature before allowing me in. I go to another store. We all just crowd on in there and wait our turn. Meanwhile, restaurants are prohibited from doing business. Wait, why? No. Just arrived here. You think you make a Death Note typing session? It's been a while since I've watched it. Obviously, the main character I think is an INTJ, but could be ENTJ maybe. Of the 30 to 50 clients I service, not a single one has worn a mask, nor cared about my mask, nor observed a 6-foot distance. Well, what happens around here, anyway, is that there is a, I guess, an FE reality, which is if you don't care about a mask, and I don't care about a mask, we're never going to find out about it. because we're both going to default to wearing it so that in case the other person is a mask freak outer, then we'll have prevented that from happening. So it's like, because it always makes more sense to take the cautious route of wearing it than run afoul of somebody who's a mask Nazi.
Yeah, I don't want to be yelled at.
Right. Then it's just that's how even people who both agree in full that they should not be wearing these stupid things end up wearing them when they're talking to each other if they don't know each other well and haven't clarified the position on it, you know? So it's unfortunate, but it's reality. Of course, different parts of the country and different parts of the world have different attitudes about this as well. So, in other words, there's much less consensus about the normalization of these, these safety first theatrics than there is here. Here, it's you just don't see anybody inside any store without a mask on.
Yeah.
And like outside at the gas station, I take mine off, but a lot of people have them on outside as well. I would take mine off when I'm outside. I would put it on before I go into a business or something. And depending on the business or circumstances, I will try more or less to get away with just covering my mouth. I never wear a mask. Sometimes on my way in, I'll hear, "Sir, excuse me, sir, hello." I just ghost them and don't chase. All right. Well, Rachel went into a Rite Aid without a mask. I think it was by accident. She just spaced out. I usually remind her because her SI about shit like that is worse than mine. So she'll consistently space out. She'll forget to put it on, and then she'll forget to take it off.
I tell people that I'm spacey, and they're like, "No, you're not." And I'm like, "You'll see." And you see, right?
Yeah, I tell you, in my store, I watch the maskless checkout with no grief. Yeah, so, no, I'm not saying, I get that, Legends Fall. I understand that you're making a choice not to wear it. I think where we are anyway, Rachel and I would have a hard time of it trying to pull that off. Even if we wanted to be combative and everything,
we'd get yelled at, honestly.
There would be so
many
much
people
pushback.
Are wearing masks. Like, even when they're on walks and stuff. So, I don't want to start any fights. If I have to wear a mask, whatever.
Yeah, for sure. It's unfortunate, but I guess I'm fairly accustomed to it at this point.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be accustomed to it if I had to wear it for long stretches of the time. I never have to wear it for any longer than it takes me to go into a store and come out,
Yeah.
And yeah, well, the thing is, that works when the default isn't for everybody to confront you about it. But when the default is for every single person to immediately come up to you and be like, meow, 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 you're going to have a much harder time pulling that off, What am I looking for? What was I about to do? Why did I open a tab?
Because you got to do.
Oh, I was going to check my calendar. Right. No, 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 dog. I don't see anything.
Nah.
I don't see anything on my calendar. I'm not missing anything. I'd like to get that's a good idea, is to get a full Halloween mask and just wear it without an actual mask underneath it. And see what happens. If it's got a small enough hole for the mouth, people maybe won't be able to tell or won't feel confident. Will they tell you take that off? It's like if you go into the store with a werewolf pet mask on, what are they going to say? You can't wear that in here? Well, but you have a sign that says I have to wear a mask. They go, yeah, but it's not that kind of mask. Well, this is the only kind of mask I have.
Oh, can I give you a kiss on the cheek?
Mwah. Let's make a Valentine's pose. You kiss my cheek and I'll smile. Valentine's pose.
Oh my gosh.
I used a hoodie mask, completely covered my eyes. Covered only my eyes.
What should I say to the McCurdy clan WhatsApp thing? Hi everyone.
Thinking about investing in a beekeeper's hat. Thoughts?
Yeah.
I'm considering buying a beekeeper's hat. Thoughts?
Okay.
I don't know if you really want to do that, Rachel. Don't take my advice on things like this, okay? Because I want to make everything into a joke, and maybe.
All right. So what should I put in then?
I don't know, man. Like
banal
family shit. Like
what?
banal stuff. Like
hey.
I hope that storm's not hitting you too hard out there, or some shit like that. Or you could be like.
I hope you guys are staying safe wherever you are.
Yeah, sure. Don't forget, an apple a day keeps the doctor away. That'd be an odd message to receive. An apple a day keeps the doctor away. Seems to provoke the question, which doctor does it keep away? Information about it. Why am I getting information?
I replaced Subway Surfer with WhatsApp.
My video epistemic security may have content that is owned or licensed by CD Baby Pro Publishing. Okay, I will click here to change the monetization settings. What song is it? It's probably Matt's song. It's probably what it is. Oh, sharing. Oh. When I hear your name, where is it? All right, I got it muted so I don't get this again. That'd be kind of silly. Okay, there we go. I listened to it. It was that somebody suggested that there was a backing track that I play over, and I put the backing track on. They assured me that there wouldn't be any copyright issues with this, and
No.
I freestyled a song called "Girl, Child, Woman, All
That
Night
was so
Tonight, Rock You Till the Morning Light" song or something, and it says it's a cover or something. So I mean, I'm not sure if it's because of the backing track or because of my singing that they're claiming is a cover or something, but I don't know. I just said, okay, whatever, take the money from it. I don't care. It really doesn't matter to me that much.
I feel like that's like an ENTP theme that like money comes to them, but it also like leaves them too.
Yeah, it's true. Anyway, it just means that the monetization from ads is shared, so whatever.
Yeah, honestly.
It's not like I'm going to make more than 8 cents maximum on ads from this video anyway, so I don't care. You can have 4 cents of it. Whoever's making this claim.
You're my handsome hero.
Do you know what you are, Rachel?
No.
You're my girl, child, woman all night long till the morning light, rock you till the dawn. Tonight, all right, lady?
Oh, thanks.
It's a pretty important role for a woman to play.
It sounds very important.
It's a lot of different jobs all rolled into one. Girl, child, woman, tonight, all night, all right, rock you all night till the morning light. Yeah. Party every day, of course. I would like, as the band Kiss famously said, to party I would like, said Kiss, to rock and roll all night and to party every day.
Yeah.
When do you sleep, members of the band Kiss? One might query. If you're rocking and rolling all night long and partying every day, are you really taking good care of yourself?
No.
No, you're not. Gene Simmons needs a little bit of Gene time. Okay, that means take a bath, take a nap, eat a sandwich, do something that's neither rocking nor rolling nor partying.
That is good advice.
You know that hoodies are made out of a thread that is spun from the ground up bodies of hoodlums. Little known fact.
I had no idea.
This must be some type of rock and or roll. Yes, indeed. That's the, I believe it's perhaps the Inagata Devita episode, in the Garden of Eden. In the Garden of Eden, baby. Probably get charged with a cover song there for singing that or something. It's weird. It's weird the way that shit happens. One time I had a little bit of a drum beat that was like a backing track from YouTube. It was just somebody playing the drums. And it got copyrighted as part of a Weird Al song. Just the drums part. So, indeed, if you're gonna rock me, please do rock me like a hurricane. Because if you rock me like a typhoon, that's a little too tropical for my tastes. If you rock me like an earthquake, uh, I guess too jolty and short-lived. If you rock me like a volcano eruption, too deadly. If you rock me like a tsunami, too wet. So please do, in fact, rock me like a hurricane or a drought. You can rock me like an extended drought. That'd be okay. Rock me like an economic shock. Would be fine. I mean, Final Hot, from what I've heard of Cowboy Bebop, you may find it overly and unnecessarily quirky. I've never watched it myself, but so that makes me hesitant about you popping your cherry with it. I got a question about love. I'm 22 and in the mindset of knowing myself better, but I've been called selfish because loving and eventually being hurt makes the beauty of life too. So my cue is, your Q is the consequence of the conditional, the antecedent of which is your P. That's a metaphor for all of life. Should I throw my immature self out there and look for a relationship with high chances of it not being exactly what I want, or should I wait? I would say it's really hard for me to answer, but the first answer that comes to my mind is pay the same dues everybody else has to pay, which is go through a couple of wrong relationships to figure out how not to do that anymore. And then by the time you get to be my age, you've kind of you've got enough red flags that basically you know what you don't want clearly enough that you're less likely to make a mistake. Salty Peanut says, wait, but don't turn down the obvious. Don't ignore an eye. Is that your advice, Salty Peanut? ESTP wisdom is do all the things. The bottom line is it's interesting, the ESTP conclusion, ENTP conclusion is basically the same conclusion, but for very different reasons. For my justification is because you have to learn from your mistakes, which is a textbook fourth slot SI perspective. Legends Fall says, you got to do shit, just do it, which is much more SE dominant perspective, but we both agree on the same basic thing, which is an action type frame of reference, which says you can't be afraid to make mistakes too much, because then you can't make progress. That progress entails some mistake making necessarily. I'm an INFJ BT dub, not mistyped, and so it's kind of hard to find exactly the girl I want. Well, there aren't a lot of ENTP girls out there, and if I'm correct about oh God, Salty Peanut, are you back with somebody that there's been infidelity in the relationship? That is not going to work. Never works. No, you will find that girl, Letty, but you're going to have to think she's pretty damn special. The thing is, INFJs, I think it's fair to say, are picky and not super easily satisfied, but I mean,
I'm satisfied.
Well, I know. I agree you are. But what I was going to get to with finishing that thought was, I think by and large, the things they're not satisfied with and find unacceptable are actually are actually problems that people need to fix, you know? So somebody might say that an INFJ is overreacting because their partner told a lie or something. Well, it's just one lie, you know, whatever somebody else might say. An INFJ is going to see that as possibly true if it's an anomaly, but if it's representative of the pattern of the person's character, then it's not going to prove to be true. Since they tend to view things as representative of patterns, they can be correctly accused of sometimes jumping to conclusions about people predicated on the assumption that people can't and don't change, I guess. The thing is, I didn't really need to change much. Oh, okay, Salty Fan. Thank you for clarifying. I wasn't quite. I got my railroad car sidetracked, trying to briefly think about how I was going to clarify this matter, and then I put it aside and moved forward with whatever I was saying, and then I'm glad you clarified it. Your best friends are INFPs. The problem with cloning a host Eric Winston's mom is to get the current host Eric, this version of the host Eric genome took 49 years. So even assuming you get the host Eric as an infant and you raise it optimally, I don't think you're going to get a ripe host Eric for at least like 35 years. Because cloning me doesn't make me grow faster.
Right.
Is the problem. So what's with you and the knowledge DOMs for partners, Salty Peanut? You like, you gotta know to be a man around me. You better know first, baby. You better know universally, or you could know specifically or particularly. But for God's sake, you gotta know. And put some TE in that tool function too. Oh yeah. I love that TE tool function. Only 350 black-footed ferrets left, and considering that each ferret has 4 feet, that means there's only like 80 of them. Cha! You get my joke? It was hilarious. A good way to tell if someone has a knowledge function first is to see if they voted for Attack on Titan in the poll. So if they did, they do. But if they don't, they didn't. You saw the WM. Oh, on Guiding Light, the soap opera, they cloned Reba, and she was full grown. They're called CBS. Yeah. They're lying to you, Winston's mom. CBS has been telling you lies about cloning. That would be duplicating. That wouldn't really be cloning. Now, we may use clone colloquially to mean duplicate, but we're really devaluing the specificity of the word when we allow ourselves to be dragged down in a metaphor like that. You love his face when I catch him. This is the INTJ she's talking about here. I love INTJ's face when I catch him off guard with my FE and my overactive TI and polar TE. You mean the constant state of topsy-turvy incompatibility that you call your moment-to-moment coexistence? What do you feed a cloned Eric? Same thing you feed regular Eric. Hamburgers, mostly, you know, like coffee, maybe some sort of beverage if you don't want to get it too dehydrated. You don't want it to get too dehydrated. So, Eric, you think I should kind of fast forward this process of finding the perfect love by getting hurt by love instead of spending time to know exactly what I want? Well, see, I don't really factor in the getting hurt part, I guess. I just think failed relationships are difficult and cause you a lot of stress in your life in general. And it takes you a while to figure out what comprises a good relationship if you're SI anyway. Like for me, I figured out I didn't really learn anything ever really, but I did figure out, okay, I don't like it when a chick does meow. You know, I figured that out. And by the time I got to Rachel, I had a medium-sized stack of those coming straight out of a tumultuous time with Kimberly. They didn't help me really at all. Every time I said, "Aha! There you are. There's that red flag. You're doing that thing Kimberly does, or that Candace did, which is a different thing, but kind of similar. Although not unhealthy. It's just this weird anti-polar thing that I didn't recognize for what it was, you know. And so then the thing is, when Rachel was doing the thing, it wasn't at all the same thing. But it was still very informative, I suppose, to understand why meow is a red flag in the first place. But regardless, I didn't know really what a good relationship was going to be like until I got into this relationship in which we're genuinely on the same page about pretty much everything.
Yeah.
And that's the most important thing, in my opinion, is the vector of page sameness.
I just want to be with him for life. Like, that's it.
I believe her completely. You know, and likewise, of course. But the thing is, Rachel has successfully used her demonstrative FI / dual function FE to convince me that, you know, she adores me.
I do. And I find you adorable too.
And so I don't feel unsafe at all in this relationship. And for me, that's sort of critically important thing number one. Now, thing number two is I am willing to put up with a fair amount of like being scolded / bossed around a bit. I don't really like it, but I'm willing to put up with a fair amount of it in a relationship and or other negative things in a relationship. I assume that there's always going to be bumps in the road and blah, 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 blah. And so I could have a healthy enough relationship with the wrong person, in other words. But in this relationship, there just really aren't any such bumps in the road. I mean,
we spend every day together. We do everything together. It's so nice. It's the first time that it's ever been nice for me.
Yeah, man, don't project that shit. What do you mean? Coffee, I want it, hyper, and Adderall. Well, today is my last day of Adderall, actually. Tomorrow I go to the dentist, and
I do genuinely care for him.
the cat gets a lot of exercise. The cat's quite a
Pee-pee?
yeah. We'll see her playing Prance About Kitty and Run Up the Tree Kitty and stuff.
She likes to take me on walks too. That's her latest thing. The latest thing is morale for a little bit on the porch. And then she leads me down the stairs. And if she wants to go into the bedroom, that's exactly where she'll take me. And then if she wants to go on a walk with me, we'll go to the garage area. And then she sniffs some stuff and she goes farther and farther. And then I get to a point where I'm okay, but okay, pee-pee, I'm gonna go now.
Okay, so this is the thing. What's this deal? What's the deal? What's the deal with this Nemesis fifth slot? It doesn't make sense to me. I don't find the fifth slot to be properly named as a Nemesis function. I find it properly named as an ignoring function, as Socionics names it. Those two things convey very different meanings, and one of them is much more correct than the other, in my opinion.
Well, I think the fifth slot is important, and you don't realize how important until you get older. Because it's the thing that you ignore the most. I mean, seriously. I mean, when I watched Friends, Chandler was always my favorite character. I was like in 5th grade or so when that came out. So I wouldn't have known of any sort of reason why cognitively I liked this character. But I didn't meet an ENTP until Jen in 2015. So literally ignored NE. I guess maybe because I had so much NE with my dad. I don't know. Every other NE I
Well, here's the thing. I think that it makes sense Legends Fall for it to be viewed more as a Nemesis function for you because SI is a particularist knowledge function, which you use particularly for yourself. In other words, you don't like SI frames of reference because it disallows you from using it as you want to use it. The thing is, NE and NI don't quite work like that because they're both universalists. So it's I like NI frames of reference.
like any frames
and
of
she likes
reference
any
too.
frames of reference.
Yeah,
and
it makes
in other
me
words,
laugh.
both functions complement each other externally, whereas the functions SE and SI complement each other internally.
And I really do think that as INFJs mature, they get wiser. So it may be rocky for younger couples, but don't knock it till you find one.
I find ignoring NI expresses as a refusal to accept things that aren't argumentationally sustainable, even if they're obviously so. And it also plays out in the famous story of me ignoring the fact that we should move when we were in a bad fishing spot until Rachel finally said, why don't we move over there? Since I kept trying to solve the existing badness of the existing spot rather than changing spots, right? That's another example of ignoring NI. Ignoring NE is things like, okay, earlier today, Rachel did a tarot card reading for me that had 3 cards. The first one was past, she said, and that one was the Tower card. So, okay, good. The Tower's in the past. What tower does it represent? I don't know. I could think of various things, but I didn't really bother because it's in the past. The present one was strength. Well, that's a good card. So, okay, cool. The future one was the Seven of Wands,
yeah.
which expresses something like
atonement.
Yeah, making amends, atonement, apology, whatever. So, it's the sort of thing that an I person might go, okay, this is bad, and it must mean that the future includes me making a mistake that I'm going to have to apologize for or something. That's the NI conclusion to make about it. But I said something along the lines of, well, I think in some sense that doing things right and, being focused and approaching things differently in a positive way is my way of atoning for a lifetime of failures according to various different metrics, right? So now all of a sudden, instead of predicting something negative for me, it's predicting something positive for me. That's the kind of thing that an NI Dom is likely to ignore and say, oh no, it's a bad card. But I just go, well, how can I turn this thing around here?
Mm-hmm.
And then I say whatever. And of course, I never feel worried about like things like tarot cards or astrologies or whatever. So if I said, let's play tarot cards, and I pulled 3 tarot cards out and I got Death, the Devil, and the Tower, I would go, oh, cool. And I'd make up some story about them or whatever. And then I'd forget all about it. It wouldn't weigh on me at all, right? I would see it as not something worth paying attention to, not because I don't think tarot's ever informative, but rather because I guess basically, since I don't have to affirm it because it's not argumentationally the strongest position, then I'll just not pay any attention to it,
Yeah.
Well, you might say it's rejecting NI as the dominant frame, but if you think about it, when I did tell a story that resolved the matter in my favor, that's accepting NI as the dominant frame and subverting the obvious NI with a preferable NI, So Winston's mom says that would weigh on her for her NI, right? So it's like my magical thinking frame doesn't weigh on me except and unless I actually do something bad. Without, the only way that my magical thinking frame weighs on me is through guilt. If I'm guilty of something and I feel guilty, then that's going to weigh on me. But beyond that, I don't see myself as subsumed by magic stuff or whatever, Devil, death. Sorry. Devil, tower, okay. Death. I figure I'm supposed to fight, then devil, then die in a scary tower. That's kind of that's kind of dark.
I figure I'm supposed to fight.
Do you remember what you were going to say, Rachel?
Well, being with you as, you having any dominant, I don't know, it's like I'm in that world, more, where, I used to be obsessed with, astrology, and, I still do love, a lot of it, and am engaged in it. But I used to be so attached to meanings where it wasn't healthy. And I feel And E breaks me out of that shell. Like I approach things from more of a neutral stance. And honestly, like it's kind of nice that I can go to you if I feel like I'm worried about something, and you have your NE to like be like, don't worry.
Right. I mean, the other thing is, I tend to value NI a lot more when it comes to aesthetics than when it comes to explanations. So I think NI is our way of NI is the thing that we need to explain rather than a component of an explanation. In other words, when I get into a big argument with Legends Fall, it's basically because he's using things that I think require explanations as part of his explanations.
Mm.
The stomach is the second brain, and the brain is the second penis. I think that's, and then the penis is the stomach's scrotum, I believe. Right?
I like
Is
all
that how it
those.
works?
Yeah, I think so. I like all those parts on your body.
Thanks, Rachel.
You're welcome.
I got them when I taught anatomy at a local community college.
Oh, really? How nice of them. Was it donated?
Yeah, local businesses made donations, and we bought me stomach first, then a head, then a scrotum with balls, came with balls, and then a penis. I think that was the order of operation.
Wow, you got the good butcher's ball.
Yeah. Well, after that, we got arms and legs, and then finally, yeah, we had a little bit extra at the end, so I ordered the cerulean butthole. It costs more, but that's how you bling things up.
Yeah.
That's how you bling.
That's how you bling.
This is how I bling it now. You remember that famous song by boy band Cher? Cher and the Bette Midlers. Cher and the Bette Midlers is a good name for a boy band.
That is. Where is it taint in all of this? That's a good question. Where is it?
Cher and the Bette Midlers learn about taint.
That is a great idea for a show.
It's a good name for, I think, an album by Cher and the Bette Midlers.
Yes.
And again, it's a 4-person boy band.
All of this. Yes.
There's Jose. There's Harold. There's Zing Chu. There's diversity and stuff. And there's Ivan Strafich. There's a Russian, right? So you got a Chinese guy, a Russian, an American, and a Guatemalan. And they each sing in their own language. So even in the chorus, when they're singing together, they're all singing in different languages concurrently. And of course, they've got a lot of interest because they're 4 handsome young men, and because their name has so much pop. Cher and the Bette Midlers.
I mean, that definitely has pop.
What if you get sued by Cher and Bette Midler if you named your band Cher and the Bette Midlers? 4-person boy band suits better, Eric. Let's just say a Spaid as a Spaid. Let's just lay a Spaid as a Spaid. What? 69 Cuda?
I almost spit out my coffee.
Listen, I guess you didn't hear it. We have a really firm, rock solid rule around here. You may not spell boy with an I. You also may not spell girl with a U. These are firm rules. Violation of them comes with exile or the death penalty. Your choice. Exile, the death penalty, or 18 hours of community service. Your choice.
Winston's mom, I did a reading for Anya, who she was around the channel for a little bit. And I used the necklace making kit that you gave me. I used the charms and the letters. I don't know if any of it resonated with her, but she said she liked the reading, so.
I think the first hit song by Sharon the Bette Midler should be called "If You Haven't Touched My Wiener Yet, You Best Be Touching It Now." What's the emergency?
The missing endangered elderly details at a website.
Is that my phone doing that shit too?
Yeah.
God damn it. Missing endangered elderly. I wonder if it's my mom.
No.
I'm sure it's not.
Yeah, I'm sure it's not either.
They'd have to have done a pretty shitty job at the nursing home to have lost my mom.
Yeah.
You know. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah. I don't know. That's that one. Yeah. Cancel. Let's see. I don't know. Too hard. I don't care. I'm done looking at that. That's too hard. Perspectives on both sides of the coin. I say heads. Well, I say tails, goddammit. Oh, yeah? Well, I'm in the heads camp. Oof. Silly heads person. I'm a tails guy myself. I'm all up in the tails. Well, that's where you go wrong, sir. It's the heads that have it.
Winston's mom, do you do things like heads and tails when making decisions? Because I do. If I can't decide to do something, sometimes I will use the flip a coin on Google for yes or no.
She'll flip my penis in the air. If it lands upside down, it's tails. If it lands right side up, it's heads.
Mm-hmm.
Are
you looking for a coin?
No, I'm looking for a stir.
Oh.
I'm gonna use this knife here. Thing is, I gotta stand there a long time, and she's like, best 15 out of 28 or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'm joking. She really doesn't flip my penis like a coin. That's silly. That wouldn't work really very well.
I was thinking about using the letters to find out who the endangered elderly.
No, can you give me the little cards that you have?
Yeah, sure.
I'm gonna pull. Where's Grandma at now? Grandma, well, she texted me. She said she was gonna meet up with you later. Are you not planning on meeting with her after all? You should call her or something.
The endangered elderly missing person
has an O in their name.
Olivia.
Yeah, Olivia, and then let's see what the last name starts with. I read once that the probability of life happening in this universe is the equivalent of flipping a coin 25 times and landing on a head every single time. Doesn't seem that improbable, right? What is that?
A. I'd like to focus.
There.
There you go. Anderson.
Oh, okay. I was going to say Asherwood.
Asherwood? Okay.
How about Anderwood? We'll compromise. Anderwood or Asherson?
Asherson?
How about it's Asherwood Anderson. It's hyphenated. Olivia Asherwood Anderson. That's the missing elderly person. It's Olivia Asherwood Anderson. Please, everybody, keep your eyes up for her if you're out and about. The missing elderly person. Her name's Olivia Asherford Anderson. Okay, so here we go. I'm going to do a quick, cool, creepy card reading for everybody here. I'm going to just do a 3-card
is this for the channel?
Body, heart, mind. Now, this is for everybody here, okay?
Oh, cool.
Fommel, here's your body.
Ooh, I've never seen that card before.
You gotta get it.
Wait, try. Maybe lower the light.
Oh yeah, let me try a different brightness. Let me try a little bit like dimmer. It's this lady. Okay, what is it? Can you tell me? I don't have my glasses on.
The Knight of Swords.
The Knight of Swords. That's your body, okay? So I'll tell you what it means. Don't worry, Fommel Hot. I'm going to tell you exactly what it means. This card means your body is as fragile as a dragonfly's butter wings. Okay? That's what it means. Your body is as fragile as a dragonfly's butter wings. Now, this is your heart, your emotions, the true moisture of your spirit. When you get your spirit really oiled up from mud wrestling time, except instead of mud, it's oil. That's what I'm talking about. Your emotional heart center. Here it is. It's the 5 of clubs. Look, your emotions are like, I can't see this. God, why can't I get the focus?
So weird. Why?
It's shiny, I guess.
Oh, there you go.
Your emotions are like cherries falling out from underneath your dress, while a snake is hissing at you suggestively. So what does this tell you about your emotional state? You're emotionally slutty, is what this is saying. You need to stop sharing emotions with everybody you meet, okay? When you see a stranger, don't run up to them and say, hey, would you like me to tell you about my emotions? Okay, next, let's do your mind. Okay, we've done your body and your emotions. Now your mind. Ooh. You got this. 0.
Ooh, the Fool.
The Fool. Your mind is the Fool, Fommel Hot. What does that mean? Well, I think what you should interpret this as is, just as the jester was actually the smartest person in the court, so too is your mind the smartest part of you. See how you do that with extroverted intuition?
Yes, I do.
Okay, good job, Fommel Hot.
Good job, you.
You win. You get a score of positive 7 tarot points. It's pretty good. Let's see. 69 CUDA. 69 CUDA.
Girl, you gonna get some.
I'm going to tell you about your body, your heart, and your mind. This is your body. Okay, it pops right up. That's your body.
Ooh, pretty card.
69 CUDA.
10.
You are
5, 6, 7, 8, 18.
18.
The Moon.
The Moon, I guess. Yeah, probably the Moon card. Anyways, your body is too cold in this water. Okay, that's the message of this card. Put on a jacket. Take better care of yourself. Okay, next. Oh, this is it right here. It's your heart, your emotions. Oh my gosh. You're like a flower fairy floating through the air and being swarmed by pollinating minded bees.
I think that's the sun.
Is it?
Yeah, I believe so.
Okay, so basically it says your
'Cause that's
emotions
what?
are like a
It's
lively
10 and 1 before 10 would be 19.
Yeah, this is 19.
This is the sun.
You are a flower fairy girl flying through the air getting pollinated by bees nonstop. Here comes Jeff Shaw to do his shtick. I mean, you know, I'm just hanging out, Jeff Shaw. Okay.
Yeah.
And lastly, your mind, 69 Cuda. Huh. What's this one?
5. That's the conventional one. It's
the Hierophant.
The Hierophant. Yeah, Hierophant.
You've got a monkey with a Christmas stick for a mind. Sure, you might call it a candy cane. I prefer to call it a Christmas stick. I think that's a better term. Who's this one for? This was for Legends Fall, I guess.
Sure.
Yeah. Legends Fall. This is your body.
That it looks like a queen. Wands.
Clubs. Okay. Yeah. Queen of Wands. Your body, as you can see here.
Yeah.
It's like a beautiful ice cream cone donut surprise that you use for pleasure. Use your body for pleasure. Next, no, she's holding an ice cream baby. It's an ice cream cone. It looks kind of like a baby, but it's really an ice cream cone.
Yeah.
Next, we have your
Confirmed.
heart. We have your heart. Oh. This represents Legends Fall and all those. Each of those ice cream cones represents a different lady. It's like, whew, I'm exhausted. I guess that's your emotions.
10, 13 is death.
Oh, your emotions are death? Your emotions have died, maybe? Legends Fall. You got death for emotions. I don't know. I don't really know how to spend that one in a positive way. Perhaps you see emotions as the beginning of the end. I don't know.
These ice creams are actually little gnomes.
Oh, they're little gnomes.
Yeah.
They're ice creams.
It's like a Snow White kind of scene.
Next up, your mind. Okay. And then don't worry, Jeff Shaw, you're next in line. Don't worry. I'm going to skip ahead to you. Your mind, you got, rapey carrot devil. That's your mind?
Whoa, Legends Fall.
Rapey carrot devil? Legends
you want the
Fall.
ladies. Whoa.
If you want to see these cards, what's it called? You can probably look it up online. Nicoletta Ciccioli or whatever her name is.
Yeah.
It's
you
called
can look at
Nicoletta Ciccololi.
Tarot cards on Amazon, probably.
But I'm sure if you look at images, you said like Nicoletta Ciccololi tarot number 15, which is what that was. You can see a bigger picture of it than I can successfully show you here. Okay, so that's it for Legends Fall. Now let's go to Jeff Shaw. Jeff Shaw, today we're doing body, emotions, and mind. Let's see how Jeff Shaw's body's doing. Okay, here we go, Jeff Shaw. Your body, remember, they say your body is a temple. But Jeff Shaw's body is a lollipop forest. Yes, you are running, your body is running through a lollipop forest. Your body's running through a lollipop forest your ego can't cash. Okay. Or your ego is running through a lollipop forest your body can't cash. Or vice versa. I'm not sure. One of the two. The fact is, this front lollipop leg is going to fall on you. That's your body. Now let's do your heart, your emotions. The tenderest moisture within Jeff Shaw. It's this one. Queen of Clubs.
Yeah, Queen of Clubs.
Queen of Sticks or Rods or whatever.
She's got a dragon under her dress.
Is that a dragon under your dress, Jeff Shaw? Look at that little guy you're scaring with the dragon. Is that me? Is that me? The little guy you're scaring with the dragon? And then lastly, your mind one just popped right up.
Death by Monkeys 419. We do this fairly often.
This is the, I guess, Knight of Cups or Horse of Cups or...
Oh, damn.
Page of Cups? This might be the Page of Cups.
Yeah.
I think it's Page of Cups.
Me too.
Which is...
Yeah, because I think the knight has
Well, generally, you could consider Page to be adolescent, sort of. And then the thing, Cups being emotions, and then Knight being like young adult, Queen being like, the bulk of your adulthood, King being like state of mastery in adulthood, and then Ace being new beginning. So anyway, Jeff Shaw, I think the real salient message here is this. This one right here. There's a dragon underneath your dress, and it's scaring me. Okay, next.
Can you do one for me?
Sure, my darling. No, I didn't, Jeff Shaw. I mean, I have no idea what this deck even has in it. I've not even looked through it before. I mean, fairly, I've played with it a couple of times. I haven't seen anywhere close to all the cards in it. I don't know what they all look like.
No, me neither.
I certainly didn't pull those on purpose.
Mm-mm.
I could have made up whatever story with any cards.
It's true.
I'm posing?
No way.
You really believe that I cheated to pull those specific cards for you?
No way is he posing.
I mean, it's not like they're especially bad cards.
You've been to this channel before.
I do think the one with the dragon is funny, but I'd never seen the card before I pulled it right now. shit you not. I swear to you, I had never laid eyes on that card before I pulled it out randomly here. By nature to steer. I mean, Rachel, you're sitting right here.
Yeah.
Do you think that I intentionally tried to pull any particular card for anybody?
No.
Was I looking at them?
No.
I mean, look, there's no good debate skill by just outright stone cold, straight up lying to you, which is what I would have to be doing for you to be telling the truth here. I can promise you, in no way, shape, or form did I try to guide the cards or anything like that. I didn't care what the fuck I pulled for you, dude. I don't give a fuck.
He doesn't care. That's why it's fun.
Rachel just says, the thing is, the camera's up here because it's on this stand thing. So it's a challenge for me to make it up higher and lower.
Sure.
So I haven't bothered to lower it to show you what I'm actually doing with the cards. I try to keep them up here, but it's not natural to hold them up here, you know? Let me lower this thing so everybody can see what I'm doing, I guess. It's just I got to push these things open and then push the whole thing down. Like, yeah. Okay, there. Jeez.
I know, right?
I mean, it's not like those cards are any particular whatever. This is for Rachel's body. This is the first one popped out. It's the same way for you, just for popped out. What is it? I have no fucking idea. Let's see. So, a lady examining something.
3 is the Empress.
The Empress. Your body is your Empress.
It's a pretty card.
I mean, it's like the thing that's weird is there aren't any cues to actually make you conclude that I would cheat in that circumstance because I didn't pull like the Tower, the Devil, and I just pulled 3 random cards that were not notable in any particular way. This is the heart, your mind, your chest part, your emotions. And my glasses. I can't see these things without my glasses. This is the King of Swords? Queen of Swords?
Queen, I think. My heart. That's my heart. Queen of Swords.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of like cutting edge emotions, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
You can't really see it that well.
Totally.
It's hard to get it to go into focus. Anyway, now last one for Rachel.
It's so random.
This is your mind. This is the Queen of Pentacles.
Yeah.
Ice cream cone. You're eating ice cream. Yeah, ice cream cone.
I actually do want another ice cream sandwich.
I want an ice cream sandwich too.
Okay.
Thank you, darling.
You're welcome. Thank you for the reading.
Sure. My pleasure.
I think you should do a reading for yourself too.
Okay. It took a lot of effort on my part, but I managed to cheat you up those cards, Rachel. Just the way you want it.
Thanks.
That's how we planned ahead of time.
I like to have cold emotions.
Yeah, we're pretty TE heavy around here, so we do a lot of planning and fixing shit.
So many projects. We have a lot of stories because we live very fascinating lives.
The guy who can't be bothered to turn on the green screen, right? Can be bothered to cheat at tarot on things. Okay. Let's see. You want me to do me, huh? Okay, here we go. This is my body. Oh, it's a beautiful lady. It's number 6. It's a beautiful lady with a snake wrapped around her and cherries flying through the air. That's my body. See, my body's like a snake-filled tree. It really is. Now, what is number 6? I don't really know what number 6 means. What's this one? See, 2 things fell out here. But one of these, I guess, is my body, and one of these is my mind. This must be my body. See, you can tell. That's my body. Did I cheat this one? After all, it fell out intentionally. Right? It was. You didn't see it come out. It fell. Is that how I cheated to get this eggplant one? So I could say that it was my body, so I could reference my penis sort of indirectly.
Ooh, penis involvement.
Mm-hmm. Or is this a naturally occurring phenomenon of extrovert intuition with randomness? You be the judge. Now this one for my mind, I'm like a lady standing on a house of cards. Ooh. You can make pretty good work with that one, Jeff Shaw.
That's the tower.
That just oh, this is the tower?
I don't know.
8? It might be.
No,
I don't know.
it's not.
I don't know what 8 is.
8 is
Enough.
I don't know. Justice?
I think this is your central message, Jeff Shaw, is that my mental work is really just a house of cards. I'm standing on top of it, but the slightest gust of wind will knock it over, causing me and my pretty red dress to tumble to the ground. I like these cards a lot. They've got cool pictures on them.
You're doing for PP?
Sure, I'll do one for PP. Well said, Eric. Okay, well. If I can make your bullshit critique better than you can, you got some work to do, buddy. What is this for, PP? This is her body. It's number. It's very cat-like, huh?
Mm-hmm.
It's for my cat. Number 17.
The star.
The star. Her body is the star of this cat.
Mm-hmm.
So as she takes good care of it, she grooms herself all the time. Then this one pops out. So her heart. Oh, her heart's a butterfly. Oh my gosh, that is adorable. Cute. Her heart is a butterfly that soars into the air every time she sees her mommy and daddy. Is she inside the house?
I don't know.
Did you bring me an ice cream cone? Oh, yeah, you did. Could you maybe go open it and see if she wants to get outside? Mm-hmm. Okay. And then lastly, but let me give you my last card on her first, so we'll find out, her mind. She's an ISFP. Huh, look at that. Perfect ISFP mind card.
Mm-hmm.
She's slacking.
Like on the beach. A lot
She's
of
a mermaid.
Like the beach.
She's a merkitty.
Aww.
That's what's in her mind. Life's just chilling, lying here, sleeping here, eating. What is? So, Jeff Shaw, have you asked yourself why it is that you come in here breathing fire and woo all the time? What is your proposed, like, what story are you telling yourself about why you're doing this? I'll repeat the question. What's the story you're telling? What's your narrative regarding why you're doing this? That's not very verbose.
I think trouble sprayed over by us.
Unfortunate.
Aren't those so good?
I mean, I don't recall ever saying to anybody that you should think the totality of Eric is eating ice cream sandwiches on a live stream. Do you recall me ever indicating anything of the sort? If you've concluded that this comprises the entirety of me, you are mistaken. I am, in fact, more than this, and I do know that.
I kind of want to ask Jeff Shaw about Ron Fox. You never ate ice cream in your life, Andre Z? Really?
Looking forward, or I'm not getting frame walked, okay? But I appreciate your concern. I definitely appreciate your concern. I mean, the point is, I'm trying to get Jeff Shaw to actually articulate what he really means to say, which is that he believes that if we were to take his critique at basically face value, that I'm wasting my time playing around with live streaming and so forth, when I should be moving forward and doing more significant things. But of course, the substance of his actual critiques tend to be unrelated to that central narrative. So, in other words, he came in critiquing my chilling and having fun. Mentioning that as, I think he called it, what did you call it? Well, I mean, for one thing, you accused me of cheating at tarot, which is just completely fucking off base. And also totally nuts. Like, why would I even, you gotta be kidding me. Here. This is how you portrayed my chilling with my friends, smoking bowls, and eating ice cream on a Friday night.
Mm-hmm.
Playing with cards on a Friday night with my friends, right? We arrive at a state of desperation, a spot of reach. What? Oh, thanks for coming to the party. You're always welcome. You know, I'm a human being living part of my life right now, which happens to involve a conversation with you. Does that mean I'm necessarily wasting my time? I mean, I agree I need to do other things than this in life, and I do. And I've got things in the works and various plans and so forth. Like, for example, I'm getting a bunch of teeth pulled tomorrow as step one of a, I guess, appearance fixing thing, you know, for the presidential run. And I've got I recently reset the password of and got logged into my old GoFundMe for my presidential campaign for 2020. A lot of shit going on. Just because at the moment I'm live streaming, you know, you don't. Why presume you know so much about what happens when I'm not live streaming? Why do you presume to know so much about, like, what happens when you're not even listening to all of the live streams or anything? So it's not like you can say, well, I hear you talking about it. When you are here, if I'm not engaging you directly, then you're arguing with somebody else directly. Or, I don't know. It's like, what's your success criterion? If I were to meet your criterion for not, in other words, if I were to be the same amount as me rather than more than this, currently I'm.
I didn't feel discounted. You have every right to not speak about what you don't want to speak about.
I didn't mention that.
Facts, you didn't.
You don't. I'm lazy. Only one. Or if Rachel wants to be here tomorrow, this only us. Only one of the two people here can make you a mod. You have to make you a mod from this computer.
Aww.
You have to convince either me or Rachel to make you a mod. And it's an uphill battle, let me tell you.
And I will say that I usually do relegate that to him. Choosing of mods. But
of course.
I'll definitely take you up on that.
You could go you do not fumble hot. You are predictable. I engage as needed with whomever. My intent is not with malice unless malice is brought forward. This is nonsense, my friend. It was good you realized you're better than this. No, Jeff Shaw, remember how the exchange actually went? You said, I'm more than this. I pointed out, you're right. It is silly of you to reduce me to the live streams that you come in and shit on. That's correct. You're silly to reduce me to that. So that's basically what you're attempting to do for reasons unbeknownst to me. They may be some sort of, it appears to be that you're claiming you're trying to help me, right? Now, you didn't say that, but if in fact your concern is me failing to meet my potential, then implicit in that is some sort of desire to help me, I guess. I mean, I don't remember claiming to be unpredictable. However, I find your assertion that I'm predictable like, it's not exactly true or false, but you're more trying to make a claim about your own ability to predict than you are about me. And the superiority of your prediction ability over my being unpredictable ability, that's the point you're trying to make, really. What the fuck is this? Listen, Enigma Wave, whatever this is, I want you to know something. I'm more than it.
You are.
Mm-hmm. You thought you smelled the band there? I'm not gonna ban Jeff Shaw. Jeff Shaw's Jeff Shaw's like a well, he's like a Christmas song. You might get sick of it, but it's still kind of important to Christmas. You know?
Sorry.
No, Jeff Shaw, I just can't, I don't know. There's something there's something that prevents me from thinking I'm going to ban Jeff Shaw. He'd have to basically put it this way. His behavior heretofore hasn't been the sort of behavior that typically gets one banned. In other words, he'll try to banter back and forth with me generally, rather than simply ignoring me. So if you want to try to banter back and forth with me, some fine. You're probably not going to get banned. If you get frustrated and start insulting Rachel in direct fashion, then I'm likely to ban you instantly. But you can usually get away with insulting me a fair amount. Shit runs off my back, I don't care. And or critiquing me. I mean, I'm not averse to legitimate critiques, and certainly Jeff Shaw is not the first person to indicate to me that I'm underperforming when measured against my potential. Of course, that's a fairly straightforward message, and he's made a lot of messages that are either ancillary to that or even exclusive of that. So exclusive of things upon which that's predicated, I guess. So it would seem to me, by and large, that Jeff Shaw displays more of an interest in establishing a positional superiority over me than he does in actually anything else. The number one takeaway is that I have things to learn from him. Not that I don't. I don't doubt that I do, but he seems more concerned with convincing me of that fact than he does of actually teaching me anything. So my basic rule is, if you have things to teach me, then teach them to me. Say them directly. I'm not stupid. I'm not scared to hear critiques. I'm not scared to learn new things. Don't make enigmatic gestures at unspecified critiques. That's just wasting both of our time. Yes, well, they make me look like an old lady because I am an old lady. Because I've been a lady in most of my previous lifetimes, if you add up all of my lives together, I'm a several thousand-year-old lady while I'm just a 49-year-old man. This is my first lifetime as a man. Every lifetime prior to this one, I was a woman. Mostly in Russia. I spent a few lifetimes in Asia, but most recently I was a Russian ice skater / gymnast. They pumped me chock full of steroids. I was a manly woman. I think the steroids are what caused me to finally switch over from past lives in which I was continually being a woman into one in which finally I grew a pair,
Yeah.
It was all those steroids.
Thank goodness for that.
Hello, my darling. Hello, my baby. Hello, my good time gal. I am a frog that dances so well with a top hat and staff. Hello, my baby. Hello, my darling. I think I'm going to wrap this up. It is now 9 o'clock, and I I'm not sure what I want to do before bed, but I've got an 11 a.m. dental appointment. And before I go to the dentist, I have to go to the bank tomorrow morning and have them write a cashier's check out to the dentist for the amount it's going to cost for the dental work. So I do have a busy day tomorrow, and I'm probably going to be out of commission for the next couple of days, both because of the dental surgery tomorrow, getting 8 teeth extracted all in one day, and because going on to sleepy week. Oh, that's probably going to be a minor shift because I've really chilled out on the Adderall in general this month. It's like I basically took it as prescribed, more or less, a little bit more here and there, but that's why, of course, it's like usually I finish it in about 2 weeks. This time, got 2 weeks and 5 days or something like that,
That's good. Your mouth is going to be so numb.
Well, I mean, I think it's going to be in a lot of pain once the numbness wears off. But
you're going to be prescribed stuff though now.
No, I'm just going to take probably, I don't know, on a leave or something like that.
Okay.
And usually that pain lasts through the duration of that day, and it's no longer really actively painful unless you do something to trigger the pain by the next day.
Yeah.
So I expect that by Sunday I will be recovery mode still in some sense. It's it's hard on your body to have that kind of physical trauma.
Yeah.
My dad's gonna drive me down there and pick me up. And I expect that I'll be kind of knocked out for the next couple of days, but I will be back in action come next week, Monday or Tuesday or so. And it won't really be any different than it currently is, in the sense that I am only really having a couple, 3 or 4, two full-size looking teeth pulled out, and 2 broken shards pulled out, and 4 root tips pulled out. So it's like, it's not really a big change in my mouth right now, but then I'm going to end up getting a partial denture for basically this side of the mouth right here, which sucks. I don't really want to have teeth I have to pull in and take out every morning, but didn't
your dad say to do the
well, he I talked to them about implants. They were telling me it's $3,500 an implant. If I gotta get if I gotta get 8 implants, well, at that point you're talking about over 30 grand, so or 29 grand or whatever. That's a lot. That's a lot of money for dental work. Of course, if you do get those things, then you never have to worry about dental stuff again because you got those implants. But it's still a shit ton of money.
Yeah.
Now, I could shop around and see if I could get a better deal on implants, but
yeah, that's what I was thinking, Pomo Hot, that it's very hockey player of him. It is. It gives you kind of a toughness.
Well, given that it's costing about 10 to get less than half of my mouth done, I suspect it would cost more like 30 here probably to get all my teeth taken out and a full set of dentures put in. But that's maybe what the dentist is going to recommend, because she suggested that in the first meeting. She looked at the full x-ray and said, it's not just these ones that are obvious and also hurting you that are the problem. These ones that are not hurting you and don't look like they're a problem are also a problem. So I don't know. I'm taking this one step at a time. I'm gonna get the 8 teeth pulled that I need to get pulled from the left side tomorrow, and then probably have a follow-up appointment, and see what they say.
I thought that we had sexual intercourse today.
Me too. It may be that we had sexual intercourse part 1. There may be a part 2 still if we end this stream shortly, and if we're not too tired.
Cool. So I'll go to sleep right after.
Did we say anything about that stuff? I don't think we mentioned anything about that, did we? On this stream?
Okay, look, if it's because she doesn't want me mentioning anything about it, I won't talk about anything.
No, Rachel, I'm asking you a question. Is he mentioning this because either you or I brought this person up in the stream?
I did ask.
Oh, you asked?
Yeah.
You asked him?
I was like, can I ask about running Fox? And he said no, so I didn't ask anything.
Damn. Well, there goes my arguments. Thanks, Rachel.
Love you.
You win this round, Jeff Shaw. All right, we're gonna split.
It's okay.
I want to watch another episode of that anime I was watching called the dungeon only I can get into, or something like that.
Oh yeah.
I'm enjoying it, so I want to watch maybe an episode of that before I go to bed. And Rachel, you're tired, huh?
I'm tired.
Yeah, you and I both ate marijuana thing, and
I'm sorry.
Yeah, well, you didn't have any Adderall today. I had lots of Adderall today, so it counteracts the downer effect of the eating marijuana. All right, goodbye, everybody. Thank you, Winston's mom, for your perspective, Googling and such. If it's something about which I would appreciate if you have some useful information, that'd be great. All right, thanks, everybody. Bye.